The Houston Rockets have finally just made a big splash in the free agency slash trade market, with it currently being reported that Christian Wood has signed a 3-year, $27 million deal with the Houston Rockets, and this is all being reported by Frank Isola. Now, this is absolutely the most perfect thing the Houston Rockets could have done. Literally, this is probably the biggest steal so far in the trade period slash free agency that we have seen. I can't actually describe how good this is going to be for the Houston Rockets after the recent reports that James Harden and Russell Westbrook are potentially both requesting a trade. We've heard a lot of news that Russell Westbrook has obviously requested a trade, and now we're just waiting to see if James Harden will kind of follow onto that. And I'm going to say this: whether or not the Houston Rockets keep James Harden and Russell Westbrook, which is still a big rumor at this point, that both of them might be kept on the team, whether or not they remain on the roster or not, this is a absolute terrific deal for the Houston Rockets. Let's just say James Harden and Russell Westbrook do remain on the roster. Christian Wood is an absolute perfect player to put on the team, as they desperately needed a big man after the recent, trade of Clint Capella. And not just that, Christian Wood is one of the most underrated big men in the league right now. After the Detroit Pistons actually traded Andre Drummond, some people actually forget that Christian Wood ended up averaging like 20 or so points per game when Drummond wasn't on the team anymore. And yes, he was doing that at that number one option, but he was kind of doing it without that consistent number one playmaker on the team. And throughout the season, he was 38% from three. Now that, let's just say he plays with James Harden and Russell Westbrook, this guy is going to be popping threes everywhere while being a consistent rebounder. I mean, he's 208 centimeters, 6'9", easily will be the center of the team, can average you around 7 rebounds or so per game. I would imagine maybe even more with the more opportunity that he could play around 30 minutes per game with the Houston Rockets. Not just that, this guy was, heading to be like a most improved player in the last couple games of the season, and was averaging like 20 points per game or so. Now, if you put him in the pick and roll with James Harden and Russell Westbrook, that's going to be absolutely insane. Not only does he clear the space, but he can again remain on that 3-point line and also get you a rebound here and there as well. Now, let's just say James Harden and Russell Westbrook weren't to remain on the team. I still believe this would actually be a very, very good decision for the Houston Rockets, as they only got him on $9 million per season. And it kind of just makes me feel like why the Detroit Pistons kind of not let him go. Like, I literally don't understand. I believe they signed Mason Plumlee on 3 years, $30-something million, which is more than what they did for Christian Wood. And Christian Wood is going to be by far most likely a better player than what Mason Plumlee will be. So I just find this to be absolutely extremely bizarre by the Detroit Pistons. And now they're coming out and signing a bunch of centers and power forwards now, even though they could have had Christian Wood. Absolutely bizarre to me. But again, let's just say James Harden and Russell Westbrook does leave. They will be bringing in so many first round picks and good players for those two players. And Christian Wood can again be like he'll be a top 3 option. Look, I don't know who James Harden's going to be traded to. I feel like it'll be the Brooklyn Nets. And I feel like the Nets will be giving up DeAndre Jordan, 4 first-round picks, Caris LeVert, and a young player. And then I feel like Russell Westbrook will go to the Magic. And I think the Rockets will get Aaron Gordon back, etc. So the starting 5 of the Houston Rockets next season could actually be a pretty interesting one. Like, they need to go out and sign a point guard. But other than that, they'll have Eric Gordon at shooting guard, Daniel House at small forward, potentially Aaron Gordon at power forward, Christian Wood at center, with DeAndre Jordan off the bench maybe, PJ Tucker potentially off the bench as well. A couple of their new drafted players, I believe, that they just got could also come off. It could be a pretty interesting team. Look, I don't believe they'll make the 8th seed, but again, it could definitely be a team to watch out for, and they could slowly do a little bit of a rebuild on the run, like what the Oklahoma City Thunder did, rather, with their new roster that they have built. So this is an absolute terrific decision by the Houston Rockets. I actually don't know how they were able to get Christian Wood on this cheap, considering it was rumored that Christian Wood was going to be getting offered a $12 to $18 million contract, I believe. by the New York Knicks or potentially the Detroit Pistons. I just can't see how the Houston Rockets came out of nowhere and really slipped through the cracks to kind of make this deal happen. So again, this is very impressive by the Houston Rockets. I know a lot of Detroit Pistons fans are not exactly taking this too good. And again, this is a very, very interesting one as well. But, of course, this is kind of going to be a one where we don't really know how Christian Wood is going to go. Christian Wood could really come in and not be as improved of a player as what some kind of thought he could potentially be. I just feel like this man deserves a point guard to play with. Like, I mean, he hasn't had a proper point guard to kind of go with for quite a while now. I mean, Derrick Rose, yes, he's cool and all, but again, he needs a real dominant playmaker. I feel like a player like James Harden and Russell Westbrook would actually be really nice for him. It's just a shame that both of those players are most likely going to be getting traded. You know, the teams that are in the mix are the Brooklyn Nets for Harden, Philadelphia 76ers for Harden. I think the Magic are interested in Westbrook. I don't know if the Hornets will still be interested in Westbrook, probably. The Knicks, I would assume, would still be interested in Westbrook. A lot of stuff, it's going to go down, it's going to be very interesting, but of course, I would very much like to hear all of your thoughts and opinions on this down below. Do you guys think the Rockets signing Christian Wood was a bad idea? Do you guys think it was a good idea? Again, I definitely would really like to know all of your thoughts and opinions on this down below. Why do you guys think the Pistons didn't re-sign him? Of course, let me know in the comments down below. But of course, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for the latest sports-related content and NBA content. Of course, don't forget to check out my gaming channel and my IRL/vlog channel. And don't forget to check out my podcast as well if you haven't already. Links for them will all be in the description down below. But as I was saying, to thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.